Hello and welcome to the Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. It is the Valley Business Today. Top of Virginia Regional Chamber's turn at the mic. Our conversation today is all about Hobnob in the Valley. It is happening on Friday, September 12th. So Cynthia Snyder is joining me on the screen. She is the CEO of the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber. Nathan Stalvey is also on the Zooms with us as well. Not talking Clark history today. Instead, as a board member of the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber, and he chairs the Public Policy Committee, which puts on Hobnob. Pete Warren is joining us as well. He is the market president for United Bank. Without United Bank, Hobnob might not happen. So thank you, Pete, for stepping up and supporting the chamber in this event this way. So Cynthia, I'm going to start with you. Give me the details. When is it? Where is it? What's changed? Give me the overview for Hobnob this year.
First, most importantly, it's a Friday night. There are no local football games. We did make sure of that because that's always been an issue. So Friday night, September 12th, from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. on the Clark County Fairgrounds. We've taken it back to that real picnic, hobnob around the barbecue atmosphere, and we're really looking forward to being at the Clark County Fairgrounds for Hobnob in the Valley 2025.
We were talking a little bit before we started recording for the show, and it originated on an actual farm, White's Farm. The whole point was it was a barbecue, it was the field, it was very laid back and conversational.
Yeah, I don't know if you know, but it's patterned after a very long-standing political event called the Shad Plank. It takes place down south of Richmond. This is over a 100-year event that they would pull shad out of the river, cook them on a plank of wood over the fireplace, and all the guys would stand around talking. They'd start talking politics. Then they'd start bringing in their guy that they wanted to elect. And it grew into one of the most prestigious events. If you were anybody in the political field, you were going to be there. Sets records of history all throughout. And so that concept, though, of just getting together in a casual atmosphere to meet face to face with legislators, elected officials, business community, that's where it was birthed. And so back in the early 2000s, the chamber wanted to pattern something like that to continue to build that type of good, healthy conversation and civic dialogue amongst our legislators and the business community.
Nathan, Cynthia, and I talk quite a bit when we're talking about Hobnob in particular, but across the spectrum of chamber things that the chamber does and is involved in. And it is a nonpartisan organization, and nothing really showcases that as much as Hobnob. Explain the Public Policy Committee and how that fits into the mix.
So the Public Policy Committee for the Chamber is really involved in helping our members of the Chamber understand, be in touch with politicians at every level on both sides of the aisle, from local to county to state to federal. And the Hobnob event is this event that allows people in general, chamber members and non-members, to come and meet these elected officials and meet the parties from both sides, both Democratic and Republican parties, county parties from throughout the region, so to get more information. One of the things that we like to do as the Public Policy Committee is raise awareness. There's a lot of legislation that gets passed that can really affect a lot of the business owners in the chamber. And we want people to come and learn how those policies change and how they affect their businesses across the board, whether it be taxes, whether it be real estate, anything that affects their businesses. The Hobnob is a chance for these people to get together and meet these politicians face to face and kind of learn more.
I think so many times people don't realize or understand how a particular bill might impact them, sometimes until it's too late. So the fact that you're able to say, look, this is what this is, and this is all of the people that may feel some sort of impact from it. I was involved in a breakfast a few weeks ago. Senator Tim Kaine was in town, and he came to the United Way and was talking to a lot of the nonprofits, and he talked for a moment about the Farm Bill. And I remember sitting there thinking, what on earth does the Farm Bill have to do with these nonprofits? And then they started talking about the SNAP program, and they started talking about USDA grants and loans. I might not have connected those together had someone not explained to me what that Farm Bill is. That's the role that the chamber takes in making sure that everyone is educated on all the aspects of the various bills.
That's exactly it. And at the same time, the Hobnob is a chance for these politicians to hear from the people in the community, because they're in office to represent them and they want to hear what's going on, what's affecting them, what are some things that the people would like to see differently, done differently, what could help their businesses, what could help their community better. And this is this opportunity for them to hear from the community. So it's a great event. I love it very much. I'm extremely happy that it's in Clark County this year where I work. And I can tell you, just people being involved in politics at every level and learning and being aware is extremely important. That's been a big part of my career as a museum director, is learning how to work with government at every level. It really does help you understand. It helps you advocate better, helps get your message across, whether you're a business owner, whether you're an individual. Something like the Hobnob is the perfect thing to go to really get that face time with your elected officials.
Pete, United Bank has been a sponsor of this event since 2018. And I'm guessing a lot of the reason behind that is that advocacy and that education, because you want our community to be educated on what could be beneficial or not beneficial for the businesses and for the residents that live all around us.
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. It's about bringing people together to have open communication and open dialogue. Not only do we present for the Hobnob, but we also provide the total public policy package that offers usually 2 to 3 breakfasts throughout the year, where it's either pre or post legislative meetings that are held in Richmond. So a lot of the delegates will come in, provide us what's going on, talk about what bills are out there and what is the pulse of each aisle there in Richmond and what work is being done, which then has a great impact on our area, our businesses, transportation, et cetera. So there's a lot of things that do make a big difference in getting those individuals into the area to talk about what's going on, allows our business leaders to prepare for, plan for, and have a great strategy going forward. As a bank, we provide financial services. So, of course, we're there in need for those businesses to either provide a resource or an establishment that offers them their financial services. And we're a big believer in believing that our community is strong because of those strong connections that we can provide. We're bringing together elected officials, public office candidates, and government leaders. And then again, those local community leaders to share those ideas and strengthen the relationships. And by supporting Hobnob, we're investing in an open dialogue, proactive engagement, and a shared vision for economic growth and community success.
And Cynthia, it's not just about the politicians, because you have really good food at this event. There is really great networking.
Dinner will be catered by Schaefer Barbecue out of Middletown. We're representing the entire region too. We're going to have live music. There'll be voter registration opportunities. And then, of course, access to local leaders. Some of the cities and counties will actually have exhibitor tables. Exhibitor tables are provided at no cost, thanks to our good sponsors, so that they can come and represent and be there so that the constituents can come get the facts from them straight on. We've got some pretty big issues facing our region and its growth right now. And so people can come get the facts from the people that are doing the work at the government level. And again, I want to emphasize what Nathan said, and this event is for the entire community. It is not just for chamber members. Chamber members get a discounted ticket at $40, which includes their dinner and dessert and the music. For non-members, it's $50, still a great night out for that. But it's an opportunity for those candidates that may be coming into office, or you're already elected officials and government agencies, to hear from the constituent what matters to them. It's a chance for them to hear from you as much as for you to hear from them on a personal one-on-one level.
It's not an everyday opportunity that people in our area have to talk with their elected officials. Sometimes it's a little tedious to get in touch with them, and you may send an email or fill out a form on their website, and you're never really 100% sure if they saw it or even what their initial reaction is. This really gives you that opportunity by coming to this event and having that FaceTime and maybe 5-10 minutes, depending on what you want to talk about, to actually have that conversation with someone.
Yeah, and it's not the kind of event where you just come and get talked at. It's a night of conversation. And one of the things I'm especially proud of since we brought this event back after COVID is how truly nonpartisan it is. We've seen both parties have been walking away from the event just so energized and so excited. and especially some of the younger candidates that are coming in for the first time into the political arena and offering to run for office. And it's helpful. These are just normal, everyday citizens. Some of them have never run for office before. And so watching them build a camaraderie amongst their peers who are also in that same, taking that brave step to step into the arena and get shot at and try to represent. It's really been really energizing and encouraging for them to talk with their peers who are also running for office and learn from them. And then again, hear from the people that they're going to represent about what's important to them.
Let's take a break. When we come back, can we talk a little bit about who you expect to be there that evening and how I can get tickets? Because it is, in the past, it's been a limited number of tickets that are available because you do provide food for the most part. So can we get into the logistics in the next segment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We're going to do all of that when we come back. We are on the Zooms for the Valley Business today, featuring the top of Virginia Regional Chamber. Cynthia Snyder is joining us. She is their CEO. Nathan Stalvey is a chamber board member and chairs the Public Policy Committee. Pete Warren is with us as well. The Hobnob in the Valley is presented by United Bank, and Pete is their market president. We're going to come back and talk more with all of them in just a couple of minutes. What if one day could deliver real results for your brand and your community? On September 19th, United Way of Northern Shenandoah Valley will mobilize over 900 volunteers across 6 counties for Day of Caring, the region's largest single-day volunteer event. This is your company's chance to step up. Sponsor Day of Caring and help cover vital project costs for local nonprofits, from painting and landscaping to repairs and more. You'll be recognized on volunteer shirts, signage, and media. Plus, it's a powerful team-building opportunity for your employees. Your sponsorship isn't just a donation, it's an investment in the infrastructure of care that holds this region together. Visit unitedwaynsv.org/Day of Caring or contact Day of Caring at unitedwaynsv.org. Lead with impact. Show your community what your brand stands for. Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. We are on the Zooms today for the Valley Business today with the top of Virginia Regional Chamber. Joining us is Cynthia Snyder. She is their CEO. Nathan Stalvey is on the Zooms with us as well. He's a board member for the Chamber, also chairs their Public Policy Committee. Pete Warren is with us. He is the market president for United Bank. They are the sponsor, the presenting sponsor for Hobnob in the Valley. Cynthia, when we went to break, I was asking you about who you thought from a political perspective might be there, but then it dawned on me I should probably clarify, because we're recording on August 12th. People aren't listening until August 27th. You might not have definite answers yet this early in the game.
That's correct. So what you want to do is keep an eye on regionalchamber.biz on the calendar date of September 12th, and just keep watching that. We'll be posting any of the officials that will be coming, candidates that are running for office, high-level officials that are already there that are coming to meet with their constituents.
It is important, too, as we talk about when we're recording versus when this show is airing, because there is a cutoff for the tickets. Tickets are not going to be available at the door. So you're not going to be able to show up on that Friday night, September 12th, and think you can pay your admission and get in. You do need people to register in advance.
That's correct. Because we're serving food, we've got to give the caterer, which is again Schaefer's Barbecue, a good head count so that we make sure we have enough food to serve everybody graciously. And so we will require a ticket for the event. Cost again for chamber members is $40 and guests $50. And that includes food, dessert, live music. There will be a cash bar with beer and wine from local vendors.
And you mentioned in the first segment, too, about the exhibitor booth. So the local governments have the ability to set up a table at no charge to inform their constituents on programs.
It's actually all government agencies. So we've even got, like, the Extension Office is a Virginia state government agency. They set up a table so that they can make people aware of some of the issues that they need to make people aware of, including the Spotted Lanternfly, which was a big hit last year because Senator Kaine and Congressman Klein both happened to be at their table at one time. And that was magnanimous for them to be able to present their issue, small as it may seem, little fly. It's a really important issue going on in Virginia right now. So they were able to share that information with them. So that was really cool for them. We also have exhibitor tables that you can purchase. So some of our businesses and nonprofits make sure that they're getting out in front of the community via this event as well. Nathan has a pretty cool story to tell about his nonprofit and what Hobnob in the Valley did for him.
Yeah, you had a
Oh, yeah.
pretty stellar first experience, didn't you, Nathan?
I did. I really did. So little context here. So I just left the Virginia Association of Museums Council and just joined the board of the Chamber of Commerce. And the very first event I went to was the Hobnob in the Valley. At the time, I was working on trying to get a budget amendment into the state budget for the Borough Morgan Mill to help restore our mill dam. And that was going to be a monumental task. And it's not something I'd done before. And it required really meeting with a lot of the politicians. And I went to the Hobnob and it was incredible. I was able to getting that FaceTime with these elected officials, with people who are running for office, and really saying, hey, here's this thing I'm working on. I could really use some support, but I also could use some guidance. I know some of the process about how to do this, but I could really use some guidance on how I can get this across the finish line. And the people I met with were just very helpful. They were very nice. I've stayed in touch with them. I continue to stay in touch with them. And because of that assistance and because of those connections I made, I was able to go through the process of advocating for the budget amendment. I had our elected delegate, Dolores Oates. She introduced the amendment into the General Assembly. It got through the budget. It was signed into law, and we got our money and restored our mill dam. It was unbelievable. But the Hobnob in the Valley was that event that I just came to, and getting that face time with those elected officials. I minored in political science, but this showed me why all of this is very important. And very happy to be on the public policy committee. And when I heard that the head of it was looking for somebody to be the new head of the committee, I was like, oh, let me jump in because I very much enjoy this. This is my kind of thing. So, I mean, the Hobnob it can be so impactful in so many ways, in a lot of ways that you may not even think of or consider. But I assure you, people who come, they will leave saying, I learned a lot. I understand now.
And Pete, you had a similar but different experience last year because not as a nonprofit necessarily needing to get something into the state budget, you were transitioning into your position. This is a great place for people to meet you, for you to meet people and to make those connections.
Yeah, absolutely. It is an amazing opportunity to have very meaningful discussions with elected officials, but also business leaders. In my industry, we're committed to serving our communities. So, understanding what is happening with some of the biggest leaders of the community is important for me to then be boots on the ground for decision making by my executive officers at the bank. So, my job is to run this market, report back, and provide an opportunity for us to grow along with the community that we're serving on an everyday basis. And that's exactly what we're committed to, is developing long-term relationships with every customer or every leader or every official that we come across, whether or not we engage directly for banking services or products, but staying in the know, understanding the pulse of the market, and providing the resources that we as a very large bank can offer our community, but having the ability to be flexible in working with business leaders of smaller industries to larger industries and anything in between. And yeah, last year was great. My predecessor, Harry Smith, was a long time amazing leader in our community. He has retired as of July 1. He's still around, so hopefully I can get him to attend this year. Got some big shoes to fill. He's been involved with city council. He's been involved with elected officials over the course of his amazing 40-year banking career. It was exciting to see him present, provide a few good words, and really just walk around the room and talk to everyone. He seems to know everyone. Our job in the community is to communicate all the time, be transparent with each other, and make our community a better place to live.
Cynthia, Pete makes a really good point because aside from the elected officials and the candidates, a lot of our business leaders themselves come to this event. So you're also going to have some opportunity to have a conversation with the market president of United Bank, with a lot of the other local leaders of our industries, of our small businesses, because they too come to this.
It really is that type of an event where all of your top business leaders try to be there. They recognize the impact that this event can have on the future of our region. And again, it's about having civil discourse, working together to bring this region to where it needs to go.
And Nathan, you pointed out during the break that this is an election year. There are several local elections that are happening that people need to educate themselves on the issues and learn more about the candidates.
Absolutely. This is a big year for the state of Virginia, from the local all the way up to the state levels. At the local level, you've got Frederick County Board of Supervisors. There's elections there to fill some seats. And at the state level, all seats in the House of Delegates are up for election. So this is a big time to go. You're going to see people who are running for office, incumbents that will be there. Their ears are going to be open. They want to stay in office, they want to be in office to represent the people. They want to hear from the people. And this is just a couple of months out from Election Day, which will be, like I said, a very big election here in the state of Virginia. The governor's race, lieutenant governor's race, attorney general, all going on this year. So this is a very pivotal moment. So I certainly encourage people to come out. This is a great opportunity to meet a lot of different people that are running for office and currently in office, and they want to hear from you. So come on out. This is the time to do it.
Cynthia, it's also a really good opportunity for someone who thinks not in a million years would I ever run for office because it looks like it's incredibly contentious, to come out and meet with the people who have and learn for themselves that maybe it's not as bad as you think it is from your perspective, but learn how the process works and maybe then decide they want to run for school board or they want to run for the supervisors, city council, town council, whatever it may be. This is a great way to get your feet wet that way too.
Yeah, or just to educate yourself on what motivates a person that maybe doesn't think the way that you do. I had the opportunity last year to speak with one of the candidates that I didn't share his perspective, but I asked him what motivated you to run. And his story was so heartfelt, right? And it just brings back that humanness of why someone might have a different perspective to you. I think we're all trying to get to the same place. We just may have a different way of getting there. So it's really important to hear what motivated you to run or to engage in this way. And I think it helps soften conversations that sometimes get really harshly divided. When you talk with someone one-on-one and hear their perspective, I think it softens all of our views and how we approach things. Congressman Klein has a great story. When he was in the Virginia state legislature, the legislators all ate together. They broke bread together. And so they got to know each other on a very personal level. And when he got to the federal government level, they eat in different lunchrooms. The two parties eat in separate lunchrooms. And he said the divide is very significant, that when they ate together, there was just a much more human perspective to how you made your decisions. And so I think that's what Hobnob really does. It helps break down those barriers. Breaking bread with people is just a sacred thing to do, and it just builds community.
Where can people go to get more information, learn more about what's happening in Hobnob, and get their tickets?
Okay, they're just going to go to regionalchamber.biz, B-I-Z, that's regionalchamber.biz. And there is a photo right on the very front homepage. When they get there, they click that Hobnob in the Valley picture, and that'll take them right into the details of the event. They can register there. And again, this is a community-wide event open to anyone in the community. So they just register as a guest and come on in.
Pete, thank you for United Bank's support of this event so that they can continue to do it every year. I'm glad to see that it's staying in the United Bank umbrella, even now that Harry is gone.
That is true. And again, we were talking about it a little earlier. It's about uniting the local community. United Bank is a big part of this community and will be for a very long time. So we're honored to be the presenting sponsor once again for 2025.
And Nathan, it's always good to see you. And this is kind of weird not talking history. So thank you for taking the time today.
That was over a
absolutely.
20-year event. This is getting pretty historical.
It is. No,
that could run this long in the political sector is pretty special.
Absolutely. I can't agree more. I'm very happy to be part of this. I'm very excited. And the fact that it's going to be in Clark County at the fairgrounds. And a big shout out to working with the Clark County government and the fairgrounds themselves. They have been super supportive of this. They're very excited. And I'm very happy to have it here. And again, encouraging everybody to come out. It is a wonderful event.
And Cynthia, as always, it's lovely to see your face, whether it's on Zoom or in 3 dimensions. I see you quite frequently in person these days, so the Zoom isn't so much annoying for me anymore.
Thank you. Thanks for giving us a chance to talk about this. Again, it's a pivotal year for the state of Virginia, and now more than ever, it's important for us to be united, work together as this community grows the way it is, to find solutions and keep a vibrant community alive.
I will be back tomorrow with a brand new episode of The Valley Today, a few minutes after noon, so meet me here then.